Hi everyone! Welcome back to the OA Dynasty Forum.
Welcome.
My name is Toro.
My name is Anthony.
And together we are
OA Dynasty.
Alright, so if this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm sure you're going to have a great ride here, okay?
Oh, yeah.
And if you're a returning subscriber, you guys are the real MVPs. Thank you. Alright, so if you've seen our previous episode, I'm sure you know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Alright, and if you're here to see our love story, how we met, I think you want to check it out. We're going to put the link up there so that
check it before you watch this one.
So that you can, keep yourself up to date.
Yeah, that's the prerequisite to this one.
And for those that dropped their comments on our last video,
that comment section is fire.
Thank you so much. We felt the love.
Oh yeah.
And we are happy to spread the love as well, spread the love of God, especially this is the love season, okay?
Yeah.
All right. So today we're going to be giving you the juicy details. Of course, there's no way we can tell all our story. Right?
Oh.
But we're going to be giving you juicy details about our relationship. No, of course, now you know how we met, right?
Oh, yeah.
About our relationship, about how we fought for our love.
That's big.
Yes, and now we'll begin.
This one is the super story. This is super story.
Anyway,
if you know, you know.
All right, let's jump right in.
Yeah. So you've heard from our story that sometimes God can interrupt your plan, and when God is doing that for you, it's for your own good. And you've heard that it's good to take advantage of the moment. Mm-hmm. If God is leading you in an area, the bottom line is be led. Be led, especially when it comes to relationship. You gotta be led.
Yeah.
You gotta be led. Yeah.
All right. So we started our relationship in our final year, of the university. So we I
will keep saying this. You got me angry for 1 year. So when did you say yes?
It's okay. I said yes.
Did something? What led to you eventually saying yes? Yeah.
Okay, so the thing, like I said, we're friends, but I just knew that, I used to tell myself that whoever marries this guy, I would enjoy you. Yeah, so.
But you didn't tell me that. Huh?
Of course, but of course I needed to be sure, and so now, for how I grew up, and my background and all that. It's actually not the norm that you would marry someone from outside your church, right? Outside your denomination. And so for me, that was one of the reasons why I was, skeptical, even though I knew that, okay, I had peace with this guy and all that. But I didn't just want to go all in because I was like, okay, come on, am I really ready? Yeah. And I'm not a rebellious person. So I'm not, I'm going all out to disobey what the rules have said. And I think I need to mention here that if you find yourself in such a denomination where you're told that, you can only marry from this denomination, I want you to see the positive side of it, that they're trying to protect you from mixed multitude of protect you from other people that probably they've not tested. And also it's also important, I know now in hindsight, that a couple should have the same faith, right? You want to believe the same thing,
important,
right?
Very important.
So that's that's the reason why that all those regulations came to be. But I would also say that the what's it called now? But I'm not going to say maybe the downside, but of that kind of situation is that you're boxing, it can actually box people as well into, and the truth is not everybody in that your denomination is a Christian. Yes. So the fact that because I've seen situations and I've heard situations where once you tell them that, okay, this person is from your denomination, like, okay, rubber stamp and that's it. But that person might actually be, if people that go to the hospital might still be receiving treatment. Might not actually be fully.
No, I don't know about that.
Might not actually be fully a Christian. So if you just judge by the fact that this person is just my church member, I don't think that's a cogent. I don't think that's a strong reason. Even if the person is a church member, the person, you must actually be led to that person and have peace.
If you are in any relationship and your peace is disturbed,
run.
It is an opportunity for you to take a step back and just maybe settle it with God. And another thing from what you said about regulations in churches, I think it's almost all the churches, but it's an important thing. You marry from your tribe. We read in the story of Moses, that man Levite got a wife from his clan, from his tribe. I think it's important because these days you hear a lot of things about irreconcilable differences and things like that.
And faith
is cogent. If you have those disparity in how your view or your perception about God, worship, tithing and things like that.
That's already a loophole waiting to happen. Right? Okay, so now
we'll come back to that.
Yes, we'll come back to that. So that's just one of so after we said yes, of course, so I think it was more like so let me give you one gist. So after I said yes and all that, I studied his name because he had, like he said last time, he had saved my name.
I've been dating you since day one.
So he saved my name with my love, right? In our local dialect. And then what I saved his name as? SH.
I was supposed to sue you for that.
SH means sweetheart, right? But I didn't write it like S and H. I wrote ESSAYCH. C coding.
Yes, so I said, what's happening here?
So that, for me it was, I don't know why I did that, but I was just like, okay, and then when he saw it, he was like, come on, why? Like, are you not proud? Are you not proud?
I can't remember my dad giving me this name.
Well, anyway, so we started, we're friends, and of course, all the friends hang out, of course, when I mean hang out, we're very serious, so, like, it was in our final year, right? So, and like he said in the previous episode, it was, I was targeting a particular CGPA. So me, normally I go to the library to read. Shout out to all my,
your library people.
Exactly, my library buddies. But this time around, I was in love. So I done
say it again.
Yes.
Love catch you.
Love catch. I was in love, and so I dumped library and I started going to study where he studied. At the geology side, like Yellow House.
Oh, you people will know what you are saying.
Yes, and that, I'll go there. Like, for me, that was the first time I didn't know there was any place like that in the university.
Good area.
Because a lot of people there as well.
Yeah.
We'll go. So I'll go there, meet up with him. We'll be in the same study place, but we're not sitting together, right? It's just that we are,
that we can read at least. We used to read.
Study, yes. So at some point we just take a break and go to the suya joint, go get ram
For
suya.
those who don't know what suya is.
Okay.
Suya is just like barbecue.
Yeah. Barbecue ram or barbecue
beef.
Beef, yeah.
When you
but I like the ram.
But the preparation is different.
Yes. It has nice spice. So we go buy some sausage. That's what we call gala. Buy like it was just. So it wasn't the big things, but it was just all those little things and all that. Fast forward to leaving school now. We had our convocation, and it was so sweet for us to be best graduating students in our department, like in my own department and my faculty, and in his own department, right?
Yes, it's actually a huge privilege for us to.
Yeah, it was really good. And so I went to introduce him to my parents, not as, of course, just as my friend. And he wasn't the only one that went to say hello to my parents. So my parents didn't. I know mommy and daddy are watching now. We even took a picture that they later got to see, but they didn't know at the time. And I think it took me to.
I took picture with them.
Yeah.
their incoming son-in-law, but they didn't know.
They didn't
They
know.
didn't even get any clue about
No.
it. Here is the main thing. I told.
I think you told your parents that there was someone.
I told them already,
Mm,
and they were like very looking forward to
meeting
to
the
meeting
person.
her. But on our own side, it was a different ball game.
It was a different ball game, and I feel like this is a whole episode
on its own, yeah.
Yeah, because it was really tough, So I'm just gonna give a little peep into it. So I know I woke up one day while I was serving, and I was just like, come on, like if I'm going to get married to this guy, then I better just let my parents know.
Yeah.
Like I can't just keep doing this. So I woke up, I called my mom, and I was like, Mommy, I want to tell you something. I have someone, that I would like to marry and all that. And she was like, okay, and that's it. And then at that time we had like a church camp meeting. So I told him, and to be honest with you, like, and I would really, really say it, because one of the my husband was like everything that I was like, oh, will you do this so that like everything, didn't have any problem with doing it. So, and it wasn't a case of you doing it just so that he'll marry me and then stop and all that. Yeah. No, he genuinely was very, very open, right? And he started attending our church. And it was just for me, it was really, really beautiful to watch and all that. So eventually I took him to see my mom. My mom was like, and it was really a battle, and it was not like this is not going to happen, this guy is not not from church. And to be honest, I understand their fears, because every parent wants the best for their child.
Yeah.
But at that time I was like, come on, this is someone I really, really want to marry and all that. So we're very patient with it. He was like, okay, what else do you want me to do? I'll start calling, like, how else can we, like, it was just, and all that. So, and eventually I think my parents also now had to go pray, right? To God, to really tell them, so that they're not just clouded by words, because this guy is not from it's not originally a member and all that. And so eventually they prayed and they were convinced on their own and all that.
Yeah.
Now that even point out when I told my dad, before then, I was to go for my master's in the UK. And guess what? My hubby had come to see me off. So my flight was for Sunday morning. He had come, because it was still like he got a job from where he was 7. So and then it came on Saturday.
I think I was still at Nestle then.
Yeah. So it came on Saturday, and we hung out. We went to see one of my bosses, and we just had nice time, like just hanging out. I think in my boss place, we went to their place and all that. So the plan was that on Sunday morning he would then come.
See you
come to the
airport.
But I didn't want the shock to be too much, and that would be the first time of my dad meeting him. My mom had met him.
Yeah, I've met mommy, but yet to meet daddy.
Yeah. So in the evening, my parents came to Lagos, and I just said, Daddy, Mommy, there's something I want to tell you. The person I would like to marry would like to come and see me off at the airport. And my dad was like, you'd have to choose between me and him to see you off. And I was like, come on.
Because officially at that time there was no acceptance yet.
Exactly.
It's not like it has been, that this person is going to marry her. So we were just dating ourselves, but there was no family
involvement at that time, except my siblings anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, you can't. The role of siblings is quite different from the role of parents, right? Yeah. So you still need your parents to be in agreement with that.
Yeah.
Before you can say
exactly. And I wasn't going to even do anything outside my parents' consent, because I so much believe in honor your parents.
So we didn't even take it to the next level. We're stuck at that spot.
We're stuck.
Like okay, we tried everything possible, but we're just being patient, just to and we're praying as well. I could remember we prayed that, okay, God, you led us into this thing, and we are committing the heart of our parents to your hand, that you convince them as well, as you have convinced us that this is something that you want, for us.
Yeah. And really, eventually when it came around, so now back
So I didn't get to see you.
Yes, exactly. So this is someone that we're like, okay, we'll see, and now we're going to
I came to Lagos
all the way to Lagos to see me off to the airport, but it was too, and I remember I called him at midnight. I was like, I'm so sorry, I just spoke to my parents, and they are really not supportive of seeing them, and he was like, no, that's fine.
Think about it. I mean, like, someone they have not accepted to coming to see their
and I was like, because we're gonna be away for a while, like that really, really broke me. Like, it really, really broke me, but he took it very well, and anyways. And then, of course, our long distance relationship started. It was really, really beautiful. It was really beautiful. Eventually, when my parents were going to agree, it was also like it stood the test of time, actually.
Yeah, it took how many?
So at least it was 5 years from when I said yes to when we got married.
Yeah. So it took 5 good years.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of struggle, praying to God to touch the heart of our parents, that God will, give them convictions as well about this thing. Just to, we didn't want to do anything outside our parents' consent. So we're hanging on, we're hanging in at that spot.
Yeah.
But then long distance relationship started. She was in the UK. Then I was working with Nestle. Then I moved from Nestle to Nigerian Flour Mills. So long distance relationship was very difficult because she has to call. The way from UK, and when I load my phone with credit, within minutes it's gone. So I was spending a lot of money to call her. The same thing, she was spending a lot of money to call me. It was very challenging.
Yeah, because there was no WhatsApp then, right?
There was nothing like WhatsApp.
I think it was Skype. Skype was the closest that we got then. Yeah, so we do Skype sometimes and all that. But one thing that I think helped us is transparency.
Yeah.
Like I said, we had built friendship already, right? So, but we were just being transparent. Okay, so this is where I am now. This is what I'm doing.
Oh, yeah,
so
very important.
Yeah, so I already knew how much he was earning. It was not a big deal. Like, we spoke about everything, and I think that's one of the things that really, really helped us when we were.
Let me say this. If you say you truly love somebody, openness is a key. And I've told a couple of people that love, some people call it an emotion, but no, it's a choice.
Yeah.
You choose to love that person. And if you are choosing to love that person, then you have to make intentional efforts. You have to make intentional efforts, and along the line we had to make some sacrifices. Openness was something very important. Why? Because if you say you want to go on this journey with this person, then you have to unlock everything that is possible that will make that person to truly put their trust in you, using the right keys, because you can't use the wrong key to open the right door. And those are the keys. The trust must not be damaged. The line of communication must be open 24/7. It's not like you are telling the person you want to marry that you are in this town and somebody is seeing you in another town. You never can tell. I think those are the things that really helped us during that time.
Yeah. And really, really, we thank God, because looking back, there were so many things that could have made us to say, no, we're done. And because I also, at this point, I was now getting a lot of proposals from people within my church.
Yeah, especially when you went to UK.
Yes. So you can now...
Even before you went to UK. So.
Yeah. So you can now imagine... Yeah, even before I went to UK. Yeah. So you can now imagine if I didn't know, like if I wasn't really sure it was the one, right? Come on, like
That's
so it wasn't. So I didn't settle for him because I didn't. There was no other proposal. No, it was because God was leading me to him, right?
yeah.
And we really thank God because eventually it's worth it.
Yeah.
I would say that it's really worth it.
But the way God works things out for his children is very interesting. Because at some point, even when I was not even expecting it, God opened a way for me, gave me a scholarship to go to UK as well. So she left for UK in 2012.
Yeah.
And the following year, I got a scholarship to go to UK.
I wanted to, kind of highlight the fighting for our love part.
Yeah,
because,
I will fought for our love. Yeah.
Yes, because it didn't just come on a platter.
Yeah.
No.
It was quite some.
Yeah, and exactly. And for anyone that knows me will know that. I know some people are just like, oh, I'm not going to marry for my church and all that, right? But for me, that was not the case. It was a case of this is the person that God is leading me to.
It was a case of being led.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think one of the things that I actually did then was to speak to elderly people that I know would understand.
Yeah.
So at least I know, shout out to mommy, she knows herself. She's, my very, very good friend's mom. She was someone that I could actually open up to. I was like, mommy, like this is the person, and all that. And she was like, ma worry, and in fact,
ma worry means don't worry.
Yeah, ma worry means don't worry.
Yeah.
Like don't worry, God will take control and all that. And she met with my husband. She was like, and all that.
Means he's a good guy.
Yes.
I'm not the interpreter.
And I also have like another big sister who was super supportive, but there were very, very few people.
Yeah.
Like very, very okay. My sisters were supportive, but there were just very few other people.
Yeah.
That so I think having that at least that's few people was very, very helpful.
Yeah, just to highlight that, it's difficult for people to really understand, especially when you are the one that had the conviction from God.
Exactly.
It's not them. So
it's not them.
It's difficult for them to really understand the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Most people will interpret as if, oh, you just don't want to marry from the church.
Exactly.
That is, but that was not the case.
Yeah.
That this was something that was even beyond us, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't mean we had opportunity to just go and be doing choose and pick or pick and choose, things like that. It would have been a different ballgame.
But I think the good thing is that my hobby started, in fact, like he knows many people, like many people in church now. He was able to, but I'm just grateful to God beyond the church or whatever. Like I said earlier, the reason we all know the reason for the rules. In churches,
good reasons.
Good reasons. Good reasons. So if for example you find yourself in a situation where the person that the Lord, you're sure that the Lord is really leading you to that this person is not from church. Of course you need to be patient. Like my husband said, you were the one that God showed. You have to pray that they also, like your parents, will come
God
to
will
that.
convince them as well.
Exactly. Right. There's no need to fight with anybody if you truly know that this is someone that God is leading you to. And also find few people that will tell you the truth. So because at the end of the day, people around you would know if this person is actually worth it, right? And also if the guy is or the lady is like, no, I'm not going to come, like there are signs that you would know, and you will also know. Of course, the truth is most of these things that we actually know, we see them like during courtship, or probably don't pay attention to it. But if you speak to people, in the multitude of counsel, there's safety, right? To be able to get.
I think it's very important for us to say this because it took us 5 years, right from the time she said yes to when we eventually got married. So that 5 years was, full of, praying, getting counsel. And the prayer was centered on God convincing our parents as well. So that they can see what we have seen. Just to see that these kids are not just trying to be rebellious, but they are just following the leading of God. And like we said, if God is leading you, your peace will be intact. And when people like you said, it's very important because you need to talk to people as well.
You need to talk to people and be sure that you're not
that you are not in isolation, or you are not trying to elope with somebody,
exactly.
a stranger, because you need your family. You know, you need that support system from your parents.
And you need your parents' blessings.
More importantly, you need the blessings from your parents. So when you speak to other people, those people can even help you to assess that person.
Exactly.
Even if you are clouded and you are making, decisions based on, mushy,
butterflies in the tummy.
You are making decisions based on butterflies.
Yeah.
Other people can make an assessment of that person objectively and tell you that, oh, this is what I think about that person. And most of the people we spoke with, all the people involved, they spoke positively about the relationship.
Yeah.
But this dilemma of, okay, this person was not born in the church, or has not been coming to the church, or his parents are not from the church, remain a cog in
because at the end of the day, how are they going to test to say that this guy is actually a believer and all that, right? So also I had to put a lot of his best foot forward to tell them about, this is something, he's done this, he's done this, so this is, that was also very important. But then I also need to mention, so at the point where my dad was going to even accept, I remember I was already lecturing now, and I went for the convention, and I remember praying that, God, I'm just tired of all this, like we need to move forward. And and that day my dad and I drove like 3 or 4 hours driving, from Igbesa down to Ibadan. And while he was driving and I was in the passenger seat, I was just praying, like, God, touch the heart of my dad and all that. And when we got home, I was like, Daddy, I would like to speak with you. And I was like, okay. And then we sat down in the living room and I told him that, Daddy, there's someone I want to marry. That person that you did not allow him to see
follow me to the
airport and all that. And I told them, this is what the great thing is even attending our church now in the UK and all that. This he goes to Birmingham, and all that. So I spoke to him, and then he was like, okay. And then he was like, let's pray. And then we knelt down and prayed. And for me, like, that was really, really big.
Yeah.
But for my dad to come to that level that we're able to, to pray about it. And then, I just told my husband. And so I think my husband spoke to, the overseer.
Yeah, that's another important thing. You can't just be in the background. You have to, you have to fight for it as well.
Exactly.
So I spoke to, key people in the church as well.
Like he went to meet the overseers. So this person is serious.
We had a conversation and he prayed for me. When you look at all those things, you can tell that it's not like this person just want to come and snatch somebody from the church and take the person away. So it wasn't that situation at all. It's just like a case of which, God has a way of planning your life. And when He plans your life, your story will not be the same as someone else's story. So it's a story of love written by God. So you expect it to be unique. So our story was unique, but we had to take steps. We had to, take actions. We have to pay the sacrifices. We have to, do all those things that are necessary. It involves getting counseling, speaking to people, meeting key people in the church as well, and attending the church in Birmingham in the UK and things like that. So it was a long distance, but it was a distance or a journey to freedom. A journey to freedom. And we thank God today. We are not where we are planning to be yet. We are not there yet, but we are not where we used to be. And by the grace of God, it will keep getting better. My father-in-law and myself were best buddies. He didn't allow me to follow his daughter to the airport. But now we can follow each other to anywhere. So that's just to tell you that love, patience, and all those things, we eventually win. Love will win. At the end of the day, love will win. Someone said, if you have the opportunity to choose between love and hate, always choose love, because love will win at the end, but hate will destroy the host. So don't carry hate. Don't carry hate. Carry love. Because with love you can overcome the world. But the bottom line is that we were patient about it. We took necessary steps. we prayed. We prayed.
Because you even have to pray. Like, come on.
Because we can't leave our parents out of our love story.
No,
we can't say, oh, because we love each other, our parents just go and see them. No.
We
had to pray that God will convince them as well. And God did exactly that.
Yeah.
And that's why we are so happy today that even though at the beginning it was very rocky, but God gave us a safe landing.
Yes.
Because if Jesus is in your boat, the storm will not overcome you. And we thank God because Jesus calmed the storm. Praise God.
Hallelujah,
somebody.
I know that this episode is very long.
I know.
But anyways, it's really the abridged version. Like,
I mean, you can imagine what happened for 5 years, right?
Exactly.
So we can't even finish it in one day.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we want to believe this has helped somebody. This has ministered to somebody. If you have been led and it looks rocky, just hold on to that conviction that you have.
Yeah.
Take necessary steps.
Yeah.
Pray that God will convince those involved as well. The conviction they give you, you can give it to your parents too. You can give it to your parents. And I think my mother-in-law got that conviction first. And she shared it with us that God told her specifically, and eventually my dad-in-law too shared his own testimony as well, and God put the puzzle together. That's what God can do.
Yes, why?
The God factor. Like I said the other time, if God is at the center, things will not fall apart because the center will hold it together.
Yeah.
Put God at the center. The love is not enough. The choices are as more important as the love. And we thank God for the choices we made along the line. It was very easy to just say, I love this person, you love me, let's elope. You elope into trouble. You elope into fire. So it's just a lesson for someone out there. That love may not be enough. It's a person making the necessary sacrifices.
Does the person love God? Of course, you even know if the person.
No. I mean, if God is leading you into it, your peace will be intact, and that relationship will bring you closer to God.
Exactly.
It's just as you are getting close to that person, both of you are getting closer to God. But if you are in love with that person or you are in a relationship with that person and he's taking you away from God, run. Run. Whatever is going to take you away from God is not from God. Whatever will take you away from God is not from God.
Hallelujah, somebody. I like that rhyme.
Amen, somebody. So we thank God.
We thank God. Thank God.
If you have been enjoying this love story, this super love story,
this beautiful love story,
this story written by God, don't just enjoy it, please.
Subscribe.
Like
it matters to us, right?
It costs you nothing just to click the subscribe button, but it means a lot. It means a lot to us. Please, we love you.
And give us this as our Valentine gift.
Yeah, show us some love. Show us some love now.
And if you're actually wondering, I don't know if you've seen our LRM series.
Love, relationship, and marriage.
And what are we doing? It's a singles and couples challenge. So the singles will tell us one thing that they anticipate in marriage.
Yeah.
And if you're a couple, you tell us one thing that you
are
love
enjoying about
marriage. And we're going to pick the winners we're going to announce them February 14th. Okay? Yeah. And we want as many people as possible to participate. Okay?
Until we come your way next time, this is OA Dynasty saying bye.